My name's Greg Boone. I'm a general surgeon here at Mercy. I predominantly do breast cancer care at this point in my career. I am involved in several of the committees that we have here at the Cancer Center, specifically regarding breast cancer. I'm the chair of our breast steering committee. I also run our breast pathology conference where we discuss our cases and go over those in a multidisciplinary way. Yeah, so one of the things I love about working here at Mercy is that the sisters walk the walk. They don't just talk the talk. So when they say that we're here to provide care for everyone in the community, they follow through. I'm an employed physician. One of my responsibilities is to take care of those patients who are uninsured or underinsured so that everybody in the community has access to care. And again, I think the sisters really take that mission seriously and follow through with it. We also go out of our way to try to find ways to help those who are, again, underinsured or uninsured by getting grants to provide monies to pay for mammograms and screenings. We're part of the BCCP program, which allows us to get care for people who are, again, underinsured or uninsured through governmental programs. So we work really hard to find ways to give care to everyone in the community. We've gotten Komen grants in the past. There are other grants, other programs that offer opportunities to get monies that will help pay for mammograms and screenings and even physician care in many cases. So we really work hard to get those kinds of programs and get those kinds of monies here at the hospital to provide that kind of care. We look at governmental programs. We're very involved with Pink Ribbon, which is a governmental program that, again, provides monies to help support people who don't have the money to pay for their own care. The breast nurse navigators here at the hospital are the unsung heroes. I mean, I don't know how I would do what I do if they weren't behind the scenes doing all that they do. And they don't get nearly the recognition that they ought to. They ought to be sitting here talking instead of me. They really go above and beyond. So just with guiding the patients through this maze of medical care, and if you've ever been a patient, you know how complex that is. Having been a patient, a cancer patient, I know how complex it is, and I knew the system, and they really help guide people through it and make it much, much easier for them to get through. They deal with their economic needs. They deal with helping them afford their mammograms. They deal with helping them get to and from their appointments, and just a myriad of things that they're doing behind the scenes that no one sees except that patient, who definitely sees it because it makes a huge impact on their life. They're invaluable. Yeah, I think Mercy certainly has all of the cutting-edge technologies for breast cancer care. We have mammography, which is the 3D digital mammograms that a lot of folks need these days, especially women who have dense breasts. Makes things a lot easier to interpret. We have breast MRI. We have a variety of ways that we can do biopsies these days, mainly non-invasive ways, which is really a great benefit for the patients. So we can do ultrasound-guided biopsies. We can do stereotactic biopsies. We have MRI-guided biopsy abilities. So we really do run the gamut of the technologies that you need to be able to take care of breast cancer in 2018. So I think the real strength of our cancer center, our breast cancer team, is that we really are a team. I mean, it's the people that make the difference. I know I take this personally because I've sat in the seat that my patient sits in and been a cancer patient myself. I know how difficult it is to get through that diagnosis and get your treatment and move beyond that. And we work really hard as a team to help that patient get through it from day one. We recognize everything that goes with becoming a patient with cancer. And I think we work really hard to help the patient get through all of those things. You know, we work together as a team of physicians. We have our bi-weekly breast meetings where we discuss every patient with a new diagnosis of breast cancer. And we've got our radiologists, our pathologists, surgeons, oncologists, radiation oncologists, plastic surgeons. We're all around the table. You know, I've been doing this for 30 years and I learn something new every time I go to that conference, and so it really makes a difference for my patients. Things are pretty tough for the family doctors trying to get their patients into the system and through the system. You know, I think they feel a lot of responsibility, and there are so many things that have to happen to get the proper care for a cancer patient that it's really tough for them. And Mercy's tried to make that much easier by our one-call cancer line, so they can get a hold of us, and then those nurse navigators, who again are the real unsung heroes here, take over and they make sure that the patient gets the proper workup, so they get them in, get their mammograms done, get whatever other testing they need done. We can help navigate them then through the biopsy process. We can help them to find a surgeon if they don't know one that they prefer already. We can help them with that. So it really takes a lot of the burden of those technical things just to get the patient into and through the system off of their back so that they can focus on what are the patient's needs medically that they can address. It's really important that the primary care physicians stay involved because they're really the touchstone for the patient. So it's essential that we communicate with them. You know, we have a fairly sophisticated electronic medical record that allows us to communicate with them. You know, I think all of the physicians that work in the breast center are very good about getting information back to the primary care doctors. Another role of our nurse navigators is to be sure that they're always in the loop. So again, it's another role that they play to make sure that all the information about this patient and what's happening with the patient gets communicated back to those primary care doctors, because they're really the guys who are long-term going to be taking care of these folks. It's really stunning that Mercy has won these awards 4 times in a row. I mean, it's almost unheard of. You know, I'm a surgeon, so the American College of Surgeons, I know what their standards are, and they're high. And these things are not easy to achieve. And I think what it really says to the patients, what it says to me, is that this is a dedicated team of people who take this very seriously and really want to do the very best for our patients. And this is just recognition of that. So I think that's the message that patients and physicians can take from it. We take this very seriously. We work really, really hard to provide the highest standard of care. I think that the bottom line with the 4 awards for you is that it really is for you, the patient. Everything we do is about you. That's the real strength. We all focus on what's best for the patient. It's not what's best for Dr. Boone or anybody else. It's what's best for that human being who's facing this really terrible diagnosis that they have to get through. And I think that's a reflection of what those awards mean. I've been the patient. It makes a huge difference. I always thought I did a good job until I was diagnosed and I really, really understood what it meant, and it changed a lot of stuff. So it's you know, it's tough to go through this, and these guys make it so much better.